Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. All right, y'all caught me. I was gulping down my morning supplements. You caught me. You caught me. All right, so I'm going to be doing a reading for y'all. Okay. I'm going to be doing a reading for you guys, okay? Here goes. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I was told is you're seeing through the veil. So there's something, it's this sense almost of like something had been placed over your eyes like a veil, where basically it seemed as though you weren't seeing clearly. And I guess now you are, right? Now you are. Now you're being prepared to see as clear as day. Clear as day. Let's do this green deck. Okay. Let's get started. Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder, Lindsay. I'm going to just mark these. So if you guys are drawn to and have the ability to go ahead and help me out, I am still raising funds. I'm very, very close, so ridiculously close at this point, to having the funds necessary to retain my lawyers in Switzerland. I'm dealing with a violent stalker who has a history of physical violence towards women. And, I'm kind of like, I don't even want to talk about it at this point. I'm just so over it. I just want to get the legal ball rolling already and be over it. And I'm saying, like, I hate that I have to keep mentioning it every day, every day. La, 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 la. All right. So, yeah, if you have the feeling of wanting and being able to support that, I would really deeply appreciate it. I also have several events that I'm going to be doing. And the funds raised for these events, they're Endar and Fire ceremonies. It will go towards the legal fund. That's that many. Okay. Trying to stay in my zen today, not be bothered with horrible people. Just not be bothered by it. All right. Here goes. One more shuffle for this deck. And then we're ready. We are now ready. I think my hair really likes this length because this is air dried. What? This is air dried? What? Okay, let me just drink one more because my supplements are stuck in my throat. All right, here goes, guys. Let's get started. All right, dedication. You have to become very, very dedicated to the process that you're in, because what you're going through is going to be completely altering your life. Okay. In a few months, you're going to see the effects of everything that you're putting into, you're putting effort into. I'm telling you, if you put the necessary effort into the guidance that your soul is giving you, into the instructions that your soul is giving you about, you should do this and you should do that and you should, all of these different things, it will pan out. It's during times like this, times where there's so much instability and all of these different things, where you need to listen to your soul. And if you can listen to your soul, what ends up happening is you end up reaping the full benefits of what your soul has planned for you during this period. And you might be like, what does my soul have planned for me then? Have a little faith. Have a little faith. Do you need to question? I don't know. I don't know what your soul has planned for you, but it's this feeling of if you just listen, you will find out that whatever is planned is actually in your best, most greatest, most elevated interest. Okay? Every single time my life has tried to, drown itself in the toilet. That's a visual. Every time my life has tried to drown itself in the toilet, it's been cleansed, renewed, realigned, and the most amazing things happen right after. So, if we're going to use me as an example, there's a lot of like ugly things that are totally stressful. Yes. Things that the average person would probably be like, this is too much. I can't take this. Whereas I'm like, this is too much. I will handle it. Right. And to be able to have that stance and have it with conviction, like, this is too much, but I will handle it. I will get things done. Right. I'm just saying. Is Jenna again. Baptism by toilet water versus baptism in the flames. Which is worse? Which is worse? Which would you prefer? The toilet or the fire? Right? She says, I feel like a cat being baptized. Remember what you told me all those years ago? You were saying in your most gentlest tones, because I was so upset about something. I don't even remember what anymore. But I definitely remember you giving me this advice of, I'm like a lantern and I glow so brightly, and people will come and they will try and touch my fire because they're just drawn to it like moths, right? These beings of darkness that are not intrinsically bad, they're not intrinsically evil, but they're drawn to your light for one reason or another. And I mean, that's fine. If they want to go ahead and open the lantern door and stick their hand in to play with the fire, they gonna get burned. And I was like, you're right. You're right. That's so true. And that's the thing. We're not out there trying to create an inferno. But when someone ends up burning themselves on your sacred flame because you had an appropriate response, all you need to worry about, or not even worry, but all you need to keep your focus on is that it was an appropriate response. It was an appropriate response. Okay? You are being allowed to see beyond all of the, like, I guess you could say, like, manipulative type tactics that certain people are using. You're being allowed to really see further into your journey. And as you look further into your journey, you can begin noticing the way in which your life is trying to provide for you. Now, if you are super staunch about your beliefs of how this is supposed to pan out, you feel like by the third day, this should have happened to that degree. And, that's not how soul works. I've tried so hard. I've tried so hard. That's just not, it's not how soul works, unfortunately. Okay. Soul will do and provide you the experiences that you need, not the ones that you prefer or want. And if you can align yourself with allowing your soul to provide you what you need, oh my gosh, you will go a long, long way. You will go a long way. You will achieve a lot with minimal struggle. That doesn't mean it won't be challenging, but the unnecessary struggle will be just that, unnecessary. I don't know if you guys know this, but The events of your life are designed to teach you something. And if you can learn what that event is designed to teach you, you don't have to go through that event. You won't have to. You won't have to, because soul is efficient. Soul is all about making sure you learn what you need to learn as efficiently as possible and then moving on to the next lesson plan. So you have to dedicate yourself to your process. You have to stop hiding these aspects of yourself. You have to stop hiding away from your needs, right? Being able to communicate what your needs are in the most compassionate way possible for the situation. And what I mean by that is sometimes the most compassionate way to communicate with someone that is extremely malignant in their attempts to access you is by sometimes mirroring the aggression, sometimes matching that level of intensity, but in a different manner, from a different approach. For example, um, someone is being aggressive in their treatment of you, and it's very disconcerting, and you're going to match that aggression, but instead of just simply being aggressive towards them, you're going to match it in, legalities. You're going to match it in your inaccessibility, right? So it's about no longer hiding the truth about your strength, your capacity, your capability. No more pretending you will tolerate things that you don't want to tolerate. Like, so many different ways that this can play out for all of us. If you let it play out in the way it's meant to play out, because no matter what, it's going to play out in the way it's meant to play out. But if you let it, you won't feel as punished by your soul in your life. It won't feel as unfair. Like, with all the stuff that I'm going through currently, I don't feel like, oh, why me? I'm a good person. This is so unfair. I don't feel that at all. Instead, I'm like, okay, at what point could I have chosen an action or reaction that would have diverted this lesson to the degree that I don't have to experience this now? Right? At what point? What should I have done? Well, I should have stopped being extra nice to someone who didn't deserve that level of niceness. There's levels and layers to niceness. Not everyone deserves the most intense, unconditional depths of niceness that you can reach. Some people you just need to be cordial with. Some people you just need to let them exist with dignity, but not take any of their bull caca. Not everyone deserves to see every facet of you. Do you realize that? There are certain parts of you that are so sacred and so rare that only those who can handle the gravity of that experience should be allowed to experience you in that way. It is a very, very rare thing for people outside of my immediate biological family to experience the massive, massive honor and blessing of seeing me with my children. That's something that's very sacred to me. And no, not everyone will get to witness that. Not everyone deserves to. It's not like, oh, I think I'm the shit. It's no. There are aspects of me and my life that are just so sacred for me personally that they are not to be shared with other people who have not earned the honor of that, right? Like, we have to stop being that bridezilla that invites people we haven't spoken to in 10, 15 years, just so we can say we had like 500 people at our wedding. I got married at the courthouse. We decided a few days before, and then we checked when the courthouse would be open. the next available time. And then we decided to go. We didn't elope. We told our family, and only our immediate family was there. No friends, no nothing. Only our siblings and parents. That's it. And my cousin. She's like a sibling anyways. Yeah, that was it. I didn't even go buy a dress. I didn't spend any money on this. My cousin was like, "Cousin, let me at least borrow one of my dresses. This will look good on you." I'm like, "Sure." I didn't wear white. For what? For what? To try and convince people something about me that has nothing to do with them, right? For too long, we have lived our lives based on this obligatory sense of what we are supposed to do because this person expects it, that person expects it, that person and that person and that person. And everyone has these expectations of you. You have to be able to see through the veils. Veils have a tendency to be sheer. But here's the thing, when you layer too many veils together, even something that's intended, designed to be sheer, you will not be able to see through it. That was my fashion, like, fashion logic when I was late teens, early 20s. See-through plus see-through plus see-through equals not see-through. No, girl. No, 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 no. Various layers of fishnet and sheerness is still sheer. But if you do enough layers, eventually your vision, your ability to see clearly will be obscured. So simply take off some of those layers. Not everyone deserves to be a part of your life. People really should earn your trust. People really should earn this place within your heart, because let's face it, for many of you, you join me every morning, right? You have been with me for quite a few years at this point. You've seen me go through all these different things. You're basically my virtual family at this point. And it's this thing of like, there's these layers and these different stages of learning your lessons. And as you go through that, and as you feel it, as you become more of who you are, you naturally will shed these different layers and levels that are unnecessary, that further obstruct your view. You need to be able to see what it is you're trying to accomplish. I'm telling you, this period, yeah, we're in Mercury, but like Mercury retrograde, it's almost done. That bitch is going sober again. Mercury is going sober again. That's all we need to know. And then on top of that, I don't know what it is. I really don't, because I don't follow any lunar, solar, celestial stuff. I like to be oblivious, if we're gonna be really honest. I like to be oblivious to that shit because it'll drive me nuts. But I have this sense that this is a very amplified, elevated manifestation cycle that's just been initiated. Do any of you know anything? Mars is retro. We're going backwards in the war. We are going and we are loading a charge onto the bow and we're holding the arrow. Um, wait. Hold on. I must check something. Okay, we need to know about Mars. Characteristics of Mars. Characteristics of Mars. Hold on. There's something here. There's something. Let's see. Okay. Let me just hold on. Okay. Here we go. It's the planet of action. Your passion, determination, drive, and energy are some aspects of your life that Mars controls. This planet commands you to stand up and get things done. It rules your confidence and your power. Hmm. Okay. Auspicious, burning coal, and the fair one. Mars is malefic. Let's see. There's something competitive, courageous, brave, strong-headed, impulsive. I think impulsivity um, can have some benefits, right? It can have some benefits because sometimes if you are so crippled by your need to plan and understand, and that's a thing, okay? Don't play with me. I know quite a few of you are crippled by your need to understand and plan. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I keep that in such deep check because I can't live like that no more. Okay. So, what I'm getting is that for many of us, we've kind of been shrunk into this space of just complying and just doing whatever BS people tell us to do. And now is a time for you to kind of go in reverse with that, right? Uh-huh, girl. I'm about to drive to you. Meet me in a border town. I will hand it to you physically. I'm just like, listen, Mexico. Don't make your saltwater cousin enter your space because we barely maintaining. We are barely maintaining. You can always tell when a Piscean is barely maintaining, doing fucked off shit to their hair, doing some fucked off shit to their hair. Um, I'm gonna say cut about 12 inches off. I think maybe closer to 18 inches off. That's how much I cut off. So, you know, um, yes. This is what I was trying to get at. Impulsivity can be a good thing if something needs a drastic change in your life. You need to have the courage to take a leap of faith and jump off that moving train, right? So sometimes, and especially if it's something that you need to do, you can feel it in your heart that you need to do this, you need this change, but your fear is crippling your movement, it's crippling, hindering your flow. So rebirth and then balance and reverse. So here's the thing. Are you unbalanced? Or do you have the perception of not being balanced because someone in your environment keeps trying so hard, keeps trying so hard to convince you that what you have chosen for yourself is the wrong thing because it's not in alignment with what they want? Is that what the imbalance is? You know what I mean? Or could it be that the imbalance has to do with the fact that you're hiding aspects of yourself from yourself? You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that. Why do you feel that fear is an indication of success? I don't believe fear is an indication of failure. I believe fear is an indication of what you need to be aware of. And that awareness, if you heed the message from your fear, um, could potentially lead to success, but I don't know that it indicates it. There's many people who fear things, and because of that fear, they fail to achieve that which they desire so deeply because they're afraid. They think that they can't do it. So I don't know. I think the fact that your comment stood out to me, it has to do with what's attempting to be shared in this. So, okay, are we hiding these aspects because we're afraid of what people will think if they see us in a more authentic light? You know, is that what the fear is trying to show you, that you have to begin presenting yourself in a more authentic light? Is that fear the thing that's causing you to be unbalanced because you keep turning away from the very thing that you actually need to face, right? It might, I don't know. So, foundation in reverse, it's like this period where many of us will begin to feel and wonder, like, what am I even doing? What is the purpose? Why am I here? um, what am I supposed to do in life? Like, I don't know who I am anymore. This is a period where many of us are losing the sense of who we are, because a more authentic, more powerful version of you is rising up. Like, as much as there is really effed off situation going on for me behind the scenes, it's this thing of that issue or multiple issues are the very thing that's inviting an even more powerful version of me to rise, to be more present, to allow the presence of my power to be felt, to be witnessed. It has nothing to do with comparing yourself to other people. It has nothing to do with you trying to prove you're more powerful than someone else. Let me tell you, the truly powerful people have no desire to compete or compare. Their power is rooted in their uniqueness. They know they cannot be replaced. They know they carry some value that no one else has. And that's what leads to them tapping into more of their power. I remember a couple of years ago, someone, I don't remember who it was anymore, they're having this conversation with me, and I was talking about, like, I'm considering starting an academy. I don't really like, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of skittish. I don't know if I will. And they had made this like offhanded comment of, "Oh, are you scared that someone will, kind of like take your place?" No. Do you know how many people have tried and have failed miserably? There's no one else in this world that can be me. There is only one me, just like there's only one you. Even in a case of identical twins, they are their own individual. They might look the same, they might have the same genetics, but they have their own preferences. They have their own personality. No one can be you. And the only time someone can replace you is if you're not being yourself. Please. I mean, find another Emmy with a bob that has the level of spice that I do, please. Please. I don't give a shit. You haven't even seen me fully cranked up, okay? You haven't even seen it yet. I'm just saying, please. I don't give a shit. Oh, someone younger than me. Honey, it's okay if you're younger than me. My value is not contingent on my age. It's okay if you're skinnier than me. It's okay if your hair is longer than mine. I have a type of confidence that's not contingent or based on me degrading other people. I'm totally that girl that can look at someone and be like, "Girl, oh my God, you look so fucking good today." Yeah, no, my husband, sometimes he gets just like, "No, don't Just don't say anything. We'll be in a drive-through and I'm ready to fucking give someone attitude. Like, I need my fucking sauces. And then they open the little door for the drive-through and I'm like, oh girl, your nails. That is cute. And I totally forgot my fucking rage. Like they were giving my husband attitude or something through the speaker. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking tell them off. Don't fucking talk to my husband however the fuck you want. And then we get to the window. I'm like, oh girl, your nails. Oh my God, that color is so cute. And I totally mean it. I'm not even joking. I totally mean it. Like the last time, um, I was so pissed off because they always F up my order. Like, I can't have bread. I can't have cheese. Fucking just wrap it in lettuce. What the fuck? And, she was confused about my order. And I'm very sensitive about my food. Don't be fucking with my food. And I was like, I'm going to tell them what's up. And my husband's like, no, just stop. And I looked and I was like, oh my God, girl, your brows are so freaking nice. Do you do them yourself? And my husband's like, hey, let me just compliment my sister from another mister rather than fight with her, okay? I don't even remember why I was pissed. That's the benefit of having a squirrel brain. All right? This is about you accepting how you are and who you are and not feeling ashamed. Like I used to be ashamed because I have the attention span of a squirrel. Squirrels are fucking cute and neurotic, just like me. Okay? It's all good. I love myself the way I am, all squirrely and shit. I love it. Not always, but right now I do. Right now I do. It's about needing to face your shadows and not dragging it out. You want to drag this out? Don't drag this out. This is the last thing you want to drag out. I'm telling you. Instead of dragging it out, face it head on and then get your little list of, I shouldn't say little because that kind of rubbed me like it was condescending. Get your list, your robust list of things you need to do from your soul. Allow your soul to give you this list of stuff and then get it done. It's very simple. See, for some of us, we don't want to take responsibility for having to cut through the boundaries that we created because these boundaries are actually not boundaries. They're fences that keep you hemmed in. Ooh, I need you to go online and look up biblical meaning of hem and then apply it to your life. I'm serious. Not right now, later. I need you to look that up and apply it to your life and see the ways in which you have erroneously hemmed yourself in. Okay, we don't want to remember the things that we need to clear out because in order to clear out the old traumas, you have to first remember it. You have to first allow yourself to be honest with what you've lived through. For many of us, we don't want to remember what we've lived through because it's been bad. But was it bad? Or were you just disappointed that it didn't pan out the way you wanted? It's okay to be disappointed. It really is. It's okay to feel like, man, I really, really wanted this to work and it sucks that it didn't work. Like, give yourself that little bit of grace. Give yourself that little bit of grace where you can console yourself and be like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Like, I really, really wanted it, but probably wasn't the best thing for me. And there's probably something even better waiting for me just around the corner. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna let myself have an extra scoop of ice cream or whatever it is that you do to console yourself. Just have a little bit of compassion for yourself. Okay. During this period, you're going to be challenged quite a bit. You're going to be super duper challenged. It's in the challenge that you find deeper reserves of strength. It's in the challenge that those additional reserves of your personal power, that's where they're hidden. Why do you think life always sends me challenges? Why do you think when I set my mind to something, you're not going to stop me? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. It's something that will happen. Why do you think? Because I believe deeply and wholeheartedly. Whenever I'm presented a challenge in life, whenever I'm presented a challenge by life, I'm being presented an opportunity to dive into another pool of my powerful reserves. I'm gonna have an extra love of this girl. Okay, we're gonna be starting a group. It's the ABA group, Apple Bread Anonymous. Oh shit. Girl, I'm gonna ship you some more bread, okay? It's gonna be okay. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys. You guys haven't seen our packaging. Hold on. Hold the phone. Let me call my husband. Hello, beloved. Give me one moment. Hello, beloved. Could you please grab the 3 loaves on the counter, the ones that are packaged beautifully? I'd like to show my people. Bye. Fare thee well, my lover. My tropical lover. All right. All right. He's coming. He's coming. He's on the way. He's coming. You guys, there's just something magical is happening today. My words. The SWS breads will be carried in stores very soon. We'll make it happen. They'll be in stores. We have the jalapeno bread. Okay? Jalapeno bread. Jalapeno bread. Ocean, please cover your eyes. Cover your eyes, please, woman. Cover your eyes. We also have, we have the apple bread. Ooh, you guys, look at that. Apples. Damn. I literally could, like, in one sitting, half the loaf. I could do the whole loaf, but I'll be in pain. These are dense breads, I'm saying. And then this one. Read that. Read that. Okay? Just saying. I'm sorry, Pumpkin. I didn't mean to throw you with attitude. Shit. I'm saying, you know, like, I'm saying. They're so beautifully packaged. Girl, come. Come over. Bring the babies. You know what video is it okay for me to show the video of me and my girl when she's doing makeup on me? Because I refuse to delete that off my laptop. I have it on my laptop, and every maybe like couple weeks, I'll just rewatch it. Can I? May I share that? May I share that? She's like, she probably forgot about me already. Let me just, okay, hold on. Let me, yes, okay, girl, hold on. I gotta share this. You guys, this is my little homie. This is my little homie. Wait. Hold on. It's here. It's here. Hum, hum, him. Wait, let me just. It's the best. Okay, hold up. It's not letting me share. You guys got to see this. You guys got to see this. Oh, it's because of this. Okay. No, I can't refresh it. Are you kidding me? It'll end the whole live stream. Alas, I guess it's not meant to be to share. Please give her my love. No one does my makeup quite like her. All right, let's get back on track. So the warrior in reverse and then trapped. You've forgotten just how powerful you are and that you are not trapped. I'm just saying. It's like you've forgotten. You've forgotten and you need to begin remembering. Okay? Just because you're peaceful does not mean you no longer have the capacity to be a warrior. A warrior is a warrior is a warrior and will forever be a warrior. You will always have the heart of a warrior if you are a warrior. Right? So it becomes this thing of remembering and being able to really, really, really just tap into these aspects of yourself that you need to tap into. Some days you're going to have playful Emmy. Other days you're going to have ball busting Emmy. Other days you're going to have like, what the fuck? She hella dark right now, Emmy. And all of those days where you see all of these different Emmys that show up, they are the appropriate Emmy for that exact environment. I now give myself full permission to be these different aspects of myself that exist within me. They are all valid parts of me. I am not only valid when I'm being nice and overgiving and tolerating all sorts of caca. That's not the only time I'm valid. I'm also valid when I am setting the boundaries and enforcing them and vocalizing, when I am communicating, when I am sharing profound thoughts, when I am just also joking. That's also valid. Allow yourself to be your own validation by giving yourself permission to be who you are in that moment. You don't always have to be happy. You don't always have to be accommodating. Some days you can be like, motherfuckers need to wait. I'm just saying. Okay. Allow yourself to be a real person with real feelings, real needs, these real emotions. You don't always have to be this Stepford soul, this Stepford friend, Stepford wife, Stepford husband, Stepford family member. Like you don't have to be robotic in your existence. So these cycles that we're in, um, wait, what? It says no shipping methods available. Do you live inside the United States? Because Lord knows what other countries be doing to things that I send out. I'm about to start writing for customs voodoo shit. Touch it at your own risk. And if you try and steal this, you're going to be cursed. I'm saying I'm about to start writing that shit on packages. The sender does voodoo. I'm joking. I'm saying though, she's like, y'all be fucking manhandling my packages and shit. Taking crystals and shit. Like, give my people their shit. I'm telling you, these they be getting too accustomed to fucking manhandling people. I'm fucking offended. I'm fucking offended. Okay, let me get back on track. Mariah, can you email us and like take a screenshot of what it's showing you, like what settings or whatever, so that my husband can fix it? I don't know if something is malfunctioning on the website. So, fulfillment and conclusions. Here's the thing, it's okay to want to be fulfilled, because you will be fulfilled if you listen to your soul. If you listen to the guidance, you will experience fulfillment. And it's also okay to recognize you will never reach a conclusion until this life concludes. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? That you will continue to expand and learn and grow and become an even more ripened version of yourself through the entirety of your life. And then when your life is done, then you can be done. But until then, you have to continue to grow. You have to continue to expand in your awareness. You have to continue to find different aspects of yourself hidden away. It's okay. You're going to be okay. You're going to go through things, and these things that you go through will challenge you. And as these things challenge you, they will actually serve as invitations for you to find other pieces of your puzzle. I don't know. For those of you who have been with me since 2017, 2018, such a different person now. Such a different person now. I still have all that goodness that I had back then, but that goodness is now clothed in courage. The aspects of me that are all about softness, that are all about giving and nurturing and healing, it's clothed in this courage to also stand as a fucking warrior queen. I'm telling you, I'm the last motherfucker you want to test, especially during this period. I'm the last motherfucker you want to test. I'm just, do yourself a favor, find someone else to do that shit too, because I tell you, I have a paddle. It's a handheld paddle. And engraved on it is attitude adjuster. I will thwack you in your ass. I will thwack you in your ass, and I will smile. I'm there. I'm there at that point where it's like, you want some? I'll give you some. It'll sting. But that's what you want? Okay. I'll give it to you. I don't want conflict. But if it's going to take a more aggressive approach to correct a situation, then that's what's appropriate. Okay. And aggressive approaches are not always about fighting, they're not always about being rude or like yelling or physical aggression. No, sometimes an aggressive approach is you really turning and facing yourself and hugging yourself and saying, I love you. You didn't deserve what they did. We're going to fix it. It's okay to cry. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to recognize that what was done to you, what was said to you, whatever it is that you're living through, it wasn't okay. And you don't always have to be strong. And sometimes it takes a stronger person to allow themselves to cry. Because in that moment of crying, you're acknowledging your humanity. You are acknowledging that wrong was done to you. You are sympathizing and empathizing with yourself. How often are you able to, for a friend, for a loved one, for your child, for your parent, your sibling, it's okay, come here, just cry it out. It's okay. It's okay. Where you feel so deeply for them that you cry as well in your attempt to assist them with releasing all of that built up pain, built up grief. I know for our community, It's not uncommon for all of us to share a space whenever something becomes intense, and we have so many of us in the community, and we share these tears together. Like, we feel strongly, you know? It's really this major thing of being able to be for yourself what you can so easily be for other people. You know how easy it is for me to show up for other people, yet I struggle still to this day to show up for myself. You know how quickly I would raise fucking hell if I knew someone was treating you the way I have been treated, and I quietly just took it for 2.5 fucking years. Like, if one of you had, no, motherfucker needs to be put away. But, oh, it's being done to me. It's like, just ignore it. Who cares? No more. No more. We have to allow ourselves to love ourselves to the same degree that we are capable of loving everyone else. You deserve that. And see, I find that for many empaths, and many of you are probably going to be able to relate to this, which makes me sad. Um, it's this thing of like, mm, do we need to keep rehashing what we all already know? Do we all need to keep rehashing the ways in which we have struggled quietly with our own personal process of loving ourselves? Would this time together be better used in a more proactive way, where we're not just discussing the problem, we're seeking solutions? You know what I mean? Like, really seeking the solutions that we so desperately need. Solutions that we think evade us, but in reality, it's been right there all along, and we've been applying the solution for everyone else except us. And maybe part of the reason why we've done that for so long is so that we can better tune, better refine the way in which we will do that, the way in which we will implement that solution, so that when we have it just right, we're able to internalize and apply it to ourselves. I found that the work that I do is so gratifying because each of you, everyone that has a session with me is some type of reflection of an aspect of myself, a fractal of me. And as you give me the honor of helping you, you actually are gifting me with the opportunity to see how I can help myself as well. Every time I see you, I think all the way back to the beginning of our friendship, and I'm just in awe. Don't make me cry, Jenna. It's been a whole ass journey. It's been a whole ass journey. I look back and I see all of the things that I've been through because of other people. And I see that my soul was gifting me opportunities to choose my healing and my grace for self, my compassion for self. My soul was gifting me the opportunity through that struggle to find more of my truth and my softness, and to wear that softness like a luxurious robe made only for the most royal of royals, a robe so luxurious and soft yet capable of defending like armor. Softness is not weakness. Do you understand how powerful you have to be and the depth of awareness you have to have about that power to be able to be publicly witnessed in your most vulnerable places, at the most vulnerable times? Life is just amazing in that way. It's so beautifully designed. It is just so beautifully designed. And it's this thing of you don't even have to have an awareness of when that breakthrough moment is. Jenna says, I remember the moment you broke through the surface and started to be your authentic self without shame and hesitation. I don't know when that is. I don't know when that is. I don't even know what year. I don't know what event. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when. I'm less aware of my journey and my processes than people who have the ability to witness me several positions removed from the situation, right? It's a lot harder for me to be able to see myself and my progression with clarity and devoid of bias. I don't know limits. And no matter how much I achieve, that's just indicative of how much more I'm capable of achieving. And so I go for more and more and more and more and more and more until never. I will always continue to reach for more, not to consume, but to heal, realign, to return back to a pure state. Life is beautiful. You're being given so many opportunities. During this period, you are being given so many opportunities to rediscover what you're here for. Be that high priestess of fire and burn away any concepts of differences you might have that cause you to feel that you have to continue to operate within the parameters of other people's expectations of your limitations. There was this person, right? I was becoming friends with this person. I'd known them for a couple years at that point, and I was becoming friends with them. I would often have little chit chat conversations, and and then at a certain point, like I think they finally reached a point where they were comfortable with me, because then I began to see who they really are and the way they view me. Because then the criticisms began. It began with little things, disbelief in my capacity to do things. I remember one of the conversations, I don't remember many of our conversations, I just remember a couple. And one of them was this thing of I was talking about working out. And I don't know, I think they think I'm really tiny. I'm like adult size. Y'all, for all of y'all that are like have this fantasy that I'm like 4 foot tall, I'm fucking adult size. I'm a full grown adult size. I'm not a tiny person like that. Okay. I'm full grown fucking adult size. Big enough to cause you problems. and and it was this thing of like it was just a simple casual conversation, and they were just in such disbelief as though I would lie about how much I can fucking weight lift. Why would I lie? What is the point of that? Why would I lie? And it was this thing of like there's no way. There's no way you could squat that. There's no way you could squat that. Why do you need me to believe that I'm incapable just because you're unable to believe? And see, here's the thing, I already did it. I already squatted that much. I already leg pressed that much. And part of me wonders, had I not already done that and shown myself, had this person been in my ear before I actually went to the gym and they knew my intention for that day, would they have been able to convince me to not believe in myself? Is that how people get in your ear? Is that how people affect your progress? Is that how they've kept you kind of shackled to this belief that you're not enough? Why would size even matter to them? Because they're a male and they can't believe that I can leg press and deadlift probably quadruple what they can. They thought I was small. I'm full fucking size. I'm not Hobbit size. You are not Gandalf. I am not Smeagol size. Okay. You are not the Precious. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. It's this thing of like needing to understand only you should be the one setting those limits, right? Just setting those limits. Um, yes. Do you remember that when you gave me this? I'll show you guys on the screen. Um, do you remember when you gave me my first crystal? You gave me this selenite. I still have it. It's a selenite wand. And I was in your garage. Do you remember that live stream? It was one of like the earliest live streams. Thank God it no longer exists because they took that account down. I went batshit crazy on that live stream, holding my selenite wand. And I was irate about people involving Jesus in their arguments. And I was like, you already crucified him. Leave him alone. And I was so angry. I was so angry. And then I was so ashamed. And then you came on the live and you were like, what did that crystal do to you? And I was like, I don't know. I'm so mad. And then it became this thing of my shame about that, leading to my desire to try and control the entire thing by what? Having a notebook like I'm presenting my dissertation on some mundane topic. It's just crazy. It's crazy to me now because I've allowed myself to go through all of the things that I had to go through in order to really cultivate my perception, to really understand my limitations and how I can safely and appropriately challenge them. You see, I function pretty much the opposite of the average person. For example, when my ego flares, when I'm having an ego issue and it's flared up, I don't think I'm big and bad. I think I'm very small, insignificant, and the world would be better without me. For example, if I'm going to challenge myself, it's not pushing myself to the limits. The challenge is in realizing how far I can go safely and not harming myself just to achieve something that I'm destined to achieve anyways. It's a beautiful thing to be able to come to these conclusions about myself. Because although I still struggle with self regulation, I'm so much better at it and I'm so much more gentle with myself. So much more gentle with myself. I think that's evidence of my increase in power and awareness and grace. To be able to extend the same grace that I give to others, finally to myself, in small increments, of course, but that's still progress. I no longer treat myself like my own mortal enemy. I no longer need to smite myself because what? The only thing that needs to be destroyed is the concept that there is something about me that needs to be destroyed. Not my ego, not my struggles, not anything that I don't understand yet. It will take me time to learn more about myself and my life and my purpose. And I'm prepared to take as long as I need to take to truly understand and learn to the degree that's necessary, the degree that's required for me to be able to fulfill the purpose that I'm created to fulfill. We have to get out of this rushing. We have to get out of this achievement oriented type of living. That's not living. It's not. It's not living. That's merely existing in a semi human state. High Priestess of Water in reverse. Here's the thing. Some people might be like, oh, upside down. Oh, no, it's in reverse. No. How the hell are you going to dive deeper? You have to go head first. How are you going to dive deeper? Head first. So this is indicative of you diving deeper into your truth, diving deeper into your purpose. Just allow. You know, another thing I want to share. I've been having these seriously powerful realizations, right? Recently it was this thing of like existing momentarily just for a couple of days in this space of victim energy, victim mentality, because someone was trying to victimize me. It's fucking understandable, right? But it's like I'm so averse to anything victim that I never really give myself the time, the space, the consideration to allow myself to experience that so that I can be aware of what needs to be corrected, realigned, rejuvenated within me because of the experience. And so finally, I guess I'd reached a breaking point recently with the whole stalker thing. I know I really minimize it far more than I should be minimizing things. I just don't like you guys stressed out, wondering if I'm okay. But it was this thing that was just really viscerally felt, it viscerally affected me. And I remember going to the gym and you know, I shared with you guys there was this man and he was like super just ew. And it was like predatory energy, full on predatory. And it freaked me out. And it really, really cast a light on how unsafe I felt as a woman in the world. I've never felt that before. I've never felt that before. I'm totally a female who would fucking fist fight with a dude. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. Did you invite Oakland to come out of me? Okay. Fruitvale, motherfucker. No, okay, let me stop. But seriously, all seriousness, I had never felt so unsafe in the world my entire life. That was the first time I had ever felt unsafe, especially to that degree. And then I began to think and I began to come to this tentative conclusion that women are not safe in the world. Tentative conclusion. That was not the end of the conclusion. I needed time to allow the experience and the thoughts and my reactions and responses to what I experienced to percolate in me just a little bit longer. And a couple of days later, I went back to the gym. I didn't want to go back to the gym. What if that man's there again? Is he going to take me? I mean, is he going to follow me into the women's restroom and no one's going to notice? Like, what is he going to do if I see him there? So I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go because I just don't want to deal with it. And again, that was the first time I've ever felt unsafe to that degree because I'm usually like, I don't give a shit. You uncomfortable? You don't go. I'm going. That's usually me. And then I rationalize, oh, it's because for the first time, I'm stepping into my actual sacred feminine. I'm being an expression of that feminine energy. And that's why I feel this. Oh my God, we really are unsafe. And then I allowed this to percolate once again. And again, a few days later, I did end up going to the gym with my husband, not because I was forced, but because I chose to honor what my body said I needed, which was a workout. Workouts help tremendously with my mental health. Okay. So I was like, I'm going to the gym. And right as we were walking in, this man is walking out. And it was this thing of I was no longer in that victim energy that I had experienced, that I gave myself the grace to experience just a few days before. I deserved to experience that for a moment and be able to experience certain emotions and thoughts that many, 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 many other women have experienced. I need to have a whole being experience in this life. And after I processed all of that victim energy that I allowed myself to feel, I was back to being who I am. And so when I faced this man, he was coming out, I was going in. He even held the door open for my husband and I. And he still seemed assholish and nasty, but the predatory factor was gone. Why? He didn't recognize me. He didn't recognize my husband. Why was that predatory factor gone? And that's when I began to understand your energy communicates things that you might consciously try and subdue. You might try and hide it. You might try and layer so many different layers of veils to hide the truth of how you actually feel and the energy that you are existing inside of in your core at that moment. And I realized, although I don't deserve to be approached or viewed in a prey type manner, I don't deserve predatory behavior directed at me. My victim energy that I was in the process of processing was detected by an individual who has the capacity to be a malignant predator. And because I was in that energy, their predatory nature, to some degree, felt like it was given a green light to surface all the way. This is not to say that it is your fault when people act this way towards you, that it is your fault and that's what you deserve. No. You do not deserve any of that. I don't care what fucking energy you're in. You hold them accountable. This conversation is about you understanding why potentially these cycles continue. They repeat over and over and over. It didn't repeat for me because I only allowed myself to be in the victim energy for maybe 2 days max. I'm very, very thankful for these quirks that I was once so ashamed of, this rebelliousness. Like, I'm just do shit opposite what you said because fuck you. Yeah. I'm one of those. I'm one of those. Like, oh, yeah. You don't think I should? Oh, let me fucking do it twice. You watch it? You got a good seat? Okay. Here's some popcorn. I'm gonna do it 3 times because fuck you. For real. Fuck you. That's a thing. It's about needing to understand where your energy is. In my mind, I was not in that victim energy. In my mind, as I'm working out, I'm like, fuck him. Fuck that shit. I'm a fucking really I'm not going to let this shit go at this point. Fuck all of that. Energy wise, separate. They're two separate things. You can grow intellectually and be stunted emotionally. You can heal using logic, your psychological process. But if you don't take the time and use the proper measures and techniques to initiate and support the emotional healing, that's not going to heal. So there are people who, and I think many of us are like this. There are those of us who will be like, no, I promise you, I've done the work. And I'm like, I believe you. Like you really put effort into it. But I mean, how come there's no progress? I feel like I'm still stuck. Well, you've done the work to heal your logic, to balance your logic and empower you logically. What have you done for the emotions? What do you mean? Oh, you didn't know. Those are two separate injuries. Emotionally, you're still there at that event, bleeding profusely. That's why you feel so weak. That's why you feel like you're drowning. Your energy continues to gush out of you because the emotional wound was not tended to. Many of us don't know that. When you do both, the amount of progress that you can make. See, first, you heal the logic, the intellectual injuries, the logical injuries. You have to heal that because unless you've expanded your ability to intellectualize and be logical in what you will discover in your emotions, you will drown in those emotions. They cannot be done simultaneously. You can try just to prove me wrong. You'll also be punishing yourself, which that's your choice. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. Right? As a man that understands feminine energy and predatory energy, I have made males, I have had males to try to make sexual encounters, and it's been hard for me to address it throughout the years. Are you trying to help other males understand some of their behaviors and how it's being received by the opposing gender polarity? It's this thing of like, that's a very valiant effort, Kavi. Here, I'll put it on the screen. That's a very valiant effort, Kavi. Very, very valiant. But the world operates with more than just valiance. That valiantry, that chivalry, that type of thing. They made sure that those were things that we couldn't appropriately and efficiently use to help heal our society, our communities. So, what many of us need to understand, there's this teaching that's been spread through spiritual communities. And it's this thing of I'm here to wake everyone up. I'm here like in service. I'm trying to wake you up. Stop. Stop. You cannot wake up someone who is simply feigning sleep. We are an enlightened species. We are a hybridized end result of terrestrial and angelic hybridization. You were born awake. Stop. There is no one that you need to wake up. When you try and speak a language that is not understood by the person you are attempting to communicate with, you are wasting your energy. You are wasting your focus and your time. Does that mean you don't talk to people and try and spread awareness? No. It means you hold them accountable when you witness it. Hey, that behavior, bro, that's not cool. And when you see that they are open to receiving information regarding why you believe their behavior is inappropriate, then you share it. But when you try and share profound information with someone who lacks the capacity to receive it, not just receive it, but understand and then integrate it, I don't know if that's a waste of your time. Because when people lack the capacity to understand, um, they're not even going to be willing to like hear you. You know what I mean? And then that might even put you in a questionable situation, with your safety, right? Yeah. And I think that's part of why your comment draws me in, is that it's this beautiful, powerful thing, right? That you're trying to do, wanting to do, something that's necessary. It is so necessary. But how do we communicate that? How do we explain? How do we lift the veil for those that might be ready to see? And maybe it can be this thing of like simply pointing out like, bro, do you even realize what you're doing? Because there's been times where I've used that specific line, that approach, and that has caused them to kind of pause and be like, what do you mean? And because now they're asking me, now I can share some of the perceptions. Like I don't accuse, I ask, do you realize how uncomfortable you made that person? I mean, I know you're kidding, but did you see that? Like, I think you really scared them. Did you notice? And because I'm not accusing, and I mean, there's some situations where you really ought to accuse, right? You really ought to be like, motherfucker, you did that. But most situations, people, yo, we did not learn from our parents how to be balanced people because they didn't learn it from their parents either, and their parents for how many generations. So by simply asking, like, did you see how that your behavior was received? And then kind of giving them the time and the space to think about things and then to respond. Not me talking down to someone, but me having an actual conversation, right? We don't change the world by lectures. We encourage the world to shift out of the darkness, misery, and pain through open conversations where we are all heard, we are witnessed, our sovereignty is honored, and we are held in such a way where we feel safe to finally blossom, right? And I mean, I have a lot of kids, and we have the whole Asperger's thing going on with my family. And it's this thing of having gone out of my way through my children's toddlerhoods to learn about communication and social cues and, the very things that individuals with Asperger's and autism struggle with. And it's never this thing of, don't do that, don't be weird. It's this thing of, okay, so did you see what, when you did this, this, and this, did you see how your friend received that? Did you see their facial expressions? Did they kind of lean away? Okay, when someone does that, I think that might mean that you scared them or startled them, so you might want to not do that if that's not the end result you wanted, right? It's, I mean, I think these classes should actually be an absolute requirement for all parents, so that we can learn to begin how to teach our children to be balanced so that all the generations after us will be balanced, right? Because there's times I even hear my kids, they say it to each other. It's like, hey, did you not see, like, you upset him? You need to say sorry. They're talking to each other, and it's like, let me just be quiet. They're peers. They're regulating each other. They're helping each other learn. It's a beautiful thing. It's a powerful thing. Let me just, we already set the stage. All they have to do now is blossom, right? And I think maybe if part of the process of lifting the veil, of seeing through these layers of veils, is by simply setting the stage and watering the plants and giving them that time and space to blossom. I mean, how beautiful is that? How beautiful is that? So sometimes we have to just remind ourselves to not be accusatory, but instead ask questions. Did you notice? Did you mean to offend me? Were you just joking? Am I taking this in a way that you didn't intend? See, at no point am I negating the validity of what I'm feeling, right? At no point am I negating it. At no point am I saying, oh, I took it the wrong way. I'm sorry. No, I'm seeking clarity. I took it in a way that I was offended. Was that your intention? I don't want to assume. Was it your intent to offend me? Because if it was, I mean, then I have my answer. If it wasn't, then I think maybe we need to have a little bit of conversation because there's a misalignment and I'm not quite understanding. I'm not quite understanding, and I don't want to walk away from this not understanding the very things I need to understand. Because if I didn't need to understand that, I wouldn't be questioning you, right? So being able to communicate in that way, always honoring your self-worth. If someone says or does something that offends me, it's offensive. There's no if, ands, or buts. It's offensive. But what's crucial is, was it your intention to be offensive? Because if it was not your intention, then first, let me let you know, I did get offended. I mean, it's okay though, because you weren't trying to offend me, but this is the part of what you said that offended me. It made me feel bad because XYZ. And in sharing that, not accusing you, but sharing how I received your behaviors, your words, and how misaligned what I received is from what you intended to give, gifts the person with the opportunity to first be aware and to secondly consciously use that awareness in ways where they can modify their behaviors so that their intention is what the person receives. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I do intend to be rude as fuck when people piss me off, when people are disrespectful, when people cross boundaries. I do intend to be rude. I do intend to be disrespectful as fuck sometimes. Not usually, but sometimes. You won't make any mistakes. Like, you'll know. You'll definitely know. You'll know that I'm intending to approach it in the way that I am, and that I'm intending for you to receive it in the way you're taking it. You'll know. And I give myself permission to be my own warrior and guardian, just like I give myself permission to be my own yaya, my own nurturer, to be my own energetic mom, right? I'm a whole being. I have an entire village of different energies that exist within me. It's a beautiful thing to become aware that you have the medicine woman and man inside you, that you are your own shaman. But even with that, you can still go to those who are the medicine people, the shamans, so that you can see the spirit world from a different angle, a different perspective. Just because you can heal yourself does not mean you're the only healer you need. It's about removing the veil on all layers and levels, at least temporarily, and giving yourself the clarity that you've been seeking. You know, this is not a new chapter. This is the same continuation of the lessons you've been learning. You can have hope, but you need to allow that hope to transform into a state of gnosis, this knowing that you will be okay, and you will be okay because you are working on compassion for self, compassion at the same degree and intensity that you show other people. Golden crown in reverse. Again, you will reach layers and levels of Christic consciousness by diving deep into your waters, right? There's no other existence you need to concern yourself with in this cycle, this season that we're in, outside of your earthly existence, outside of this specific human life. Okay. For some of you, you might be drawn to past life stuff. That's okay. You know, that's where you're being drawn to. For others of you, you might have this stance of like, well, I need to be more spiritual. I need to this, I need to that. I need to learn about all of these different things. No, you don't. You need to breathe. When I enter into those cycles where like, I need to learn this, I need to learn that, I need to learn, I need to learn, I need to learn. I'm totally calling myself out right now. Those are periods where I am to some degree aware of what I actually need to pay attention to. And it's something that makes me uncomfortable. So I look for reasons and excuses to be too busy to do what my soul is asking me to do. I know I'm not the only one that does that. And you don't have to be ashamed if you do that. You do have to be aware so that you can regulate when you do that, because sometimes it's not appropriate to do that for whatever cycle or environment you're in. Sometimes it's not a bad thing. You could do that all you want. And, you know, you have to be able to know when it's appropriate and when it's not. Okay, so someone no longer wants space from you. Let me control my face. Someone doesn't want to have distance. It's this repetition of these cycles, cycling in, cycling out, this waxing and waning, this wanting you near and pushing you away, wanting you near and pushing you away. The motions of longing and then rejecting. You saw that snare? Well, Ben, I'm sorry. I tried to control my face, okay? I love you, Ben. Perception, right? What are you perceiving in this that's causing you to sneer, Ben? I mean, I mean Elijah. I'm sorry. I'm joking, guys. That's totally my face. I'm joking too, Ben. you're perceiving something and it's causing you to like, like a little bit of disdain, just the slightest hint, just a splash, a splash of disdain. And I think whatever you're perceiving, it might be skewed. I think it might be a little bit distorted, probably because of emotions or something something unresolved inside. It's not necessarily something toxic, but it's something that's unresolved, and it's leading to a lack of clarity. So it's almost a sense of like, so this was in reverse, right? Influence. Like you are existing as someone's peace. You are their moon. You are their peace. You are just their love, and you have such an influence on them, and they can't seem to catch you. They can't seem to catch you. Too bad. I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. But see, here's this thing that's happening. It's an influx of shadow energy, and it's kind of like circling the world, or it's in the process of circling the world. And this is going to be the very thing that brings you and that person together. It's not necessarily romantic. Okay. It's not necessarily romantic. So it's this thing of this potential for an elevation in our process of reunification, either reunification with a specific person or reunification on a collective whole with everyone, kind of joining together. I'm in no rush for us to unify. Do you know why? Our unification as a species is inevitable. It is inevitable. We have been shoehorned onto this pathway that leads only to one place. What is that place? Unification. We will be a unified people. I'm not too eager for us to return to a state of unity, global unity yet, because guess what? By the time we do, when we unify as a global people, it's because we're fucking shit up and we're taking back control. And that's a bit inconvenient. I don't want to do that yet. I'm hoping that we could do it in a more peaceful way. Maybe some Zoom talks. I don't know. I have a feeling it's going to require some pretty undeniable action, right? I'm not encouraging violence of any kind, but undeniable action, civil disobedience, this lack of compliance. It's going to require that on a global scale. And absolutely, Ben, it's happening in our lifetime. It's happening within our lifetime. It's happening. It will happen for us and for our children. Beautiful. I can't wait. I gotta go. Hella abrupt. I gotta go. I'm hungry. Sorry. I should have maybe eased us into it. I'll pull one final card. Since I already blurted out. I will pull one final card that we can talk about. And then I'm going to go because I want to eat. I want to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. All right, here goes. Let's shuffle it again. Okay, well, this sticks out. Ooh. Chee-hoo. Look at this. Oops. Sorry. Oh my God. I love quinoa so much, but it messes me up now. I thought quinoa was a seed, not a grain. Is quinoa considered a grain? Well, grains are technically seeds. Fuck. Sorry. It just it hurts me. Quinoa hurts me. Okay, card number 25. Beyond the threshold of fear. Beyond the threshold of fear. Enter the lion's jungle. Don't think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back like a bar behind the door. How I celebrate for you. After so long away from home, you're finally returning. Beyond the threshold of fear, you dispense with your doubts, hesitations, cautions, and tentativeness. They are old friends with whom you no longer have anything in common. Goodbye, old friends, I wish you well, you say, while turning your face to the burgeoning light of new and yet ancient world. You are visiting as though for the first time, and yet somehow also remember deep in your sacred heart. Finally, we can sit together in the charming courtyard at home. We shall tell our tales of adventure and laugh, and will dance and sing. Eventually, day shall pass into night, and we'll gaze beneath our feet, our mouths gaping open in awe, and minds utterly blank, rendered dumb in sweet submission to beauty, as we watch the world spinning on her axis. After so long, you are changing your relationship to fear. No more shall it hold you in its thrall. You are becoming able to observe it, to witness it, even to have compassion rather than resistance. Instead of unconsciously sabotaging your growth and choosing to slumber in darkness, you awaken and delight in the light and sound of your divine being. Push and pull, one step forward and a half step back. So it has been for so long, and you have endured. Yes, you are winning the race, brave one, and fear is left to fizzle out. It was always a far less beautiful firework than your passionate conviction for love anyway. Better to let that dazzling firework come to light instead. Much more satisfying. What a spiritual marathon you've been running. Now the end is in sight. You're drinking the sacred waters to replenish you from your journey. The cups are pushed into your hands by encouraging angels as you approach that blessed sash marking the finish line. Your body and soul are on this journey together, and now they're ready for victory. And yes, to rest and recover from the effort. Rest now before a new adventure begins from a completely different state of being. That's the state that we're in. That is the state that we are in, this state of resting, this state of static movement. You're moving in place as you accrue enough energy to begin from a different state of being. You're about to become a completely different person, not because the person that you are isn't enough, but because there are aspects of you that you have yet to share space with, and you deserve to know all your parts. This oracle comes with spiritual guidance for you. You have broken through a barrier, a self-imposed barrier of fear, whether it seemed to originate from within your consciousness or from an external set of circumstances that held you back from taking the steps you're now taking or just about to take. These steps may feel strange, new, uncertain, and exciting. Your mind might not have received the memo that fear-based existence is no longer in operation for you. It may need a loving, tender, reassuring, and firm update that the relationship you have with fear is now rather different. You are the witness, not the victim. Your consciousness is strong enough to hold it in compassion. You don't collapse under its weight. In fact, it is becoming less and less substantial for you. When it's there, it seems less convincing than what it once appeared to be. Compelling still at times, perhaps, but not anywhere near as powerful as that fear once was. That power has been claimed by your heart instead. So give your mind the memo, get used to the new way, and take steps. Test your legs, you'll find them powerful and ready. Get set to fly, test your wings. Trust is one, daring is the other. You'll find them enthusiastic for flight and ready to learn to ride the currents, purpose built for soaring to great heights. Trust your vision. Without the murky filter of fear, it's sharp and clear. You can see what is meant for you, what is true for you, what is beckoning you forward now. Take the running leap. There is no darkness and light for you anymore. There's just life, living, free and clear. I'll be running and flying beside you. We'll soar and dive and rise together. Let's play. Like, make life fun. Make learning fun. Make everything you go through worth it for you. Don't just go through struggles because you think struggles are necessary. Struggles actually are not. Pain. Pain is the greatest teacher. The depth of the pain is indicative of the depth of the lesson in learning. The more that pain is, the more intense, the more it's felt, the longer you will remember the learning from that lesson. Struggle, that's optional. That's optional. Struggle has more to do with your lack of compliance with what your soul is bringing you to learn. I love that. I love that. When the person who you were becomes the person spirit intended to be through hard work, perseverance, and integrity, spirit makes a new book of life. I think for me, I don't think I have a survival manual. I don't think I have a book of life. I think I have a series of live streams that document everything. Everything I've been through has been documented. Ah, what, girl? You in the Philippines? Hey. What's your favorite Filipino food? Or your favorite Filipino dessert? Oh my God. Don't get me started. I can't eat any of it. I'm serious. I can't eat any of it. Oh my God. Halo halo. We got bibingka. Like, I can't even have pancit. Like, I can't have anything. It's fucking whose idea, whose cockamamie ass idea was it to have me incarnate into an Asian family, Asian culture, and then add this little nugget of let's make her allergic to rice and soy sauce? Who the fuck does that? Who does that? Who thought that would be cute? I'd like to file a complaint. You ever met an Asian allergic to rice and soy sauce? That's some fucked up shit, yo. That's some fucked up shit. That's some fucked up. I can't even have lumpia. I can't have any of that. I'm just going to calm myself down. That's fine. I'm going to eat my bread. I'm going to start with the apple. I'm going to go, you guys. I'm going to actually go eat. I love you guys. I hope today's chat helps you to kind of shift a little bit in your space. You don't have to move anywhere. Just do a little shifting, a little bit of shifting, and see how the words feel when you say them to yourself. See how the words feel when you say them to yourself. And maybe, just maybe, what you'll feel is yourself healing and becoming whole again. Because you deserve that. You deserve wholeness. You deserve love from the purest source in your life. And that's you. You are that source. You are that pureness. Allow your love to overflow. And what people receive is merely an overflow of the ways in which you love yourself. If you don't know what that means, one of the ways that I love myself is by allowing myself to indulge in some of the most beautiful feelings and emotions. What kind of events cause me to feel these beautiful things? It's not a massage, it's not a spa date. It's when I help someone in need. It feels so good. It's my selfish moment where I am really just giving in to a desire to feel this amazing thing. And so I help someone. And that's an example of how I love others by simply overflowing my love for myself and allowing them to benefit from that. Life is beautiful. Life is good. Life is whatever you make it. So choose beautiful and good. I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell and join me when I'm live. I'm working on my attitude. I'm working on my attitude. I'm trying to be good, trying to not be rude, working on my attitude. You like my song? Ah, fuck it all. I'm joking. Don't do that. Work on your attitude. We'll work on it together. Bye, guys.